What's up? Do you ever get tired? Do you get grumpy and grouchy when you're tired? Maybe angry? Maybe do you feel like really depressed? Well, look, we're going to talk about what to do when you're tired. This is the Existential Stoic podcast. I'm Danny, and everybody, Randy. What's up, Randy?
Yo, Danny.
So, do you ever get tired?
Dude, it's like crazy. And you know what's the toughest part of it is that I kind of like border on workaholism.
Yeah,
And
yeah, we
I
do.
would say like most alcoholics say like I'm kind of a heavy drinker.
Drink a little bit.
So like workaholics are like, yeah, I border on workaholism. I have a very hard time sitting still. And because I just, I ruminated on thoughts and I get very antsy and uncomfortable and then I can't sleep. I can't do, it's like very difficult for me to sit still. But then I just go way too far in the other direction and burn the candle on both ends and just completely wear myself out until I have
Yeah.
to rest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny. I've been exhausted the last couple of days. And I think part of that, I was thinking back on, I think part of it was I was really, really busy the last week working. And I think that maybe I did burn myself out a little, but like, yeah, burnout, dude, where's you out? And like, I know you me too. It's hard to sit still. You want things to happen now. And like, even when like I tell myself I'm going to take a break, I'm like, well, maybe I could do that thing or that thing, and like, it's just, there's this constant list of shit to do. It's like, it never ends. And then you got all the other crap you got to do, which is like, stuff around the house or like fix this or fix that thing or whatever, it just adds up.
You know what else? Like I have okay, so like when I grew up, I used to enjoy sitting and watching TV. So like that was something that I would do to relax. But now I don't there's like nothing to watch because there's nothing on Netflix except for Adam Sandler movies.
I know, dude,
And
you make so many.
and and it's like I remember back in the day, sitcoms ended on a happy note. Like it was like there's this problem and then they resolve it at the end of the sitcom.
Everything's a
Nowadays,
cliffhanger.
everything is a cliffhanger, so
Everything,
you just
dude. Yeah.
watch the next one. So it's like totally addictive. And then also, I remember like the crime shows, like Murder She Wrote, stuff like that. They were very entertaining and they were not very violent. And like
No.
nowadays, it's just like blood and gore and murder and serial
Yeah.
rapists and like all this stuff. And it's just like you can't watch anything without your attentiveness just being like pillaged.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, no, you're right. Like, especially, oh, dude, the murder shows are the worst now. Now they're like, let's show them, like, cut the whole body up and put it in the ass. It's like, dude, I don't need to see that. Like, just show
Yeah,
the
right?
trash bags or something. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the whole important line. Yeah, it is weird. I don't like, yeah, I used to enjoy watching. I don't watch TV as much. And there's certain shows that I do really like, obviously look forward to, but I don't watch that much. I do enjoy watching like at night sometimes to like unwind. Like I'll read, but also put like, sometimes with the TV on the background or something. But like, yeah, definitely don't watch as much as I used to. And like
And
video
even
games, I
even
love to relax, but like, oh, go ahead. Sorry, what did you want to say?
I was gonna say even like Animal Planet and stuff like that. They show stuff and it'll be like I'll be like excited because it'll be like a tour of planet Earth and it'll be like,
Oh God,
and
I know.
here's the bison on a herd, and then they get destroyed by these crocodiles. And then the crocodiles have a drought and they all die. And, and it's like the whole thing is just like terror, terror, terror,
And they're
terror.
like now because of global warming, they all have to go to this one tiny watering hole, all 7,000, and
Yeah,
fight each
right?
other. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. It's tough. It's hard to find things to watch. And a lot of those stations too, they don't even play anymore that like the the stuff they used to, like MTV or like Discovery and all. They don't even play stuff that like was what they were oriented to in the
Dude,
beginning.
how cool was that back in the day when they played music videos?
Yeah, it was
You
awesome. I
know?
mean, that's the name of the channel, so that was kind of cool when they used to do that. And they weren't
Yeah.
just all reality TV. But
Right?
hey, I guess they don't make video. I don't know if they make videos as much. I don't know why. Because I don't even know. You don't. There's nowhere to like view them like that. I guess online, but like that was neat because
Uh,
you could see random stuff that you would find. Like I discovered music that way. It was cool. Yeah,
and like calling it reality TV so far off because it's completely scripted and
yeah.
then edited so that it just follows. It's nothing like
And they
reality.
have to make up drama and make up things. Now, what were we talking about? Yeah,
No idea. You were
what
about to
to
say
do?
something about video games, though.
Oh, right. I was gonna say, too, well, that's the other thing too, right? Because like that's always been one of my favorite things to do to relax is play video games. Like even that now, like I love playing games, but like there's so many of them now are so involved and like so long, which is fine. but it takes me a long time. Like I don't can't like when I was in high school and stuff. Yeah, I could sit down all day, dude, and play and like get like a solid like. And I also didn't care if I slept that much because I was like, it's like whatever, whatever, not that many things to do, not many responsibilities. But now it's like, my time's more limited. So it is awesome when I sit down and play, but it takes me a long time to play these games that like normally wouldn't take me that long. When you're looking at 40 to 100 hours to beat a game, it's like it's going to take me a long time. So it's like, yeah, I think a lot of things we just lack time for stuff. We're busier. It's just hard to kind of find that downtime to like really relax. And then when you are relaxing, you feel stressed because you're not doing stuff.
because you're not productive. That's
Yeah.
the thing. So like we all work too hard because we think we have to keep up with the Joneses, and now with social media, there's a million Joneses instead of just the one, you know?
There's even
So we have
AI
to keep
Joneses. Did you see this, by the way?
uh-uh.
Oh my God, sorry, it's a little well, it's not off top, whatever. So I just saw a thing that they were making like this one Spanish company, I guess it was, they got tired of paying influencers, so they made an AI, a generative influencer, and it's doing well apparently, and like there's others. I was like, so this is cool. So now you don't even know if the thing you're watching, like if it's even a real person.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you
That
did
makes
before, but
sense.
still, yeah. Yeah, it does make sense, right?
That makes sense. They can do it better than anybody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's crazy because you feel like you're so busy doing stuff to keep up with the Joneses. And then when you're not the only way to rest is to not do that. But when you're not doing that, you feel like you're not productive because we all have these thinking jobs where you can think about it all the time. Like it used to be you would work at a factory, and once
Yeah.
you clock out, can't do any work outside the factory.
Yeah. There is something to be said for that too. Like jobs where like you go in and like, I guess a lot of like, well, not all of them, but like a lot of trades and stuff like or like that where like you go in and like you can do your work there, but you can't bring it home. Like you might be able to do like some stuff at home, like paperwork and stuff, but you can't do like your principal job at home. And like, but so many jobs have oriented that way where like you can do it at home and then they expect you to be on 24/7. And it's even doubly hard, I think, if you're working for yourself or working on things for yourself because there is no real time off necessarily when you're the one that dictates when it gets done, right? Because like, working now might mean getting it done faster, and we all want it done faster. I think it is hard.
Mm-hmm.
We're very impatient. I think we've kind of convinced ourselves that like certain things are important that probably aren't. It's very hard to like, I think, just do things in the right way and be comfortable with what you have and also recognize the time things take to get there and allow yourself a chance to rest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
So what do you do nowadays for rest?
What I do when I'm tired?
Yeah.
Wine? No.
Dude, so here's the crazy thing is like I'll be exhausted, like mentally exhausted, physically exhausted, and then I lay down and I can't sleep.
Brain's still going, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's tough too. You know what the other problem is too? I noticed like here's the other issue is like when I do get tired, a lot of times like I want to relax, but I also like can't fall asleep. I'm not it's like maybe it's the middle of the day or whatever. And like so doing something like video games or something would be great, but I'm too tired to actually like play. You know what I mean? Where it's like when you're tired enough where it's like the thought of playing it is like too hard because it's like, yeah, whatever. And like so I get in this that is one of my biggest problems where I'll get like depressed almost because like I feel like I can't do anything because I'm like exhausted, but like I can't sleep and then you're just like bleh and it sucks. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also, going back on the whole TV thing, I do miss like how you could change the channels and there was already something in progress and you could just like pick the thing. Because nowadays with Netflix, you like see a title, like a thumbnail, and it's just like that could be terrible. And or if you have cable nowadays, it's digital cable. So it's not like a fast, you remember like the analog, you could just flip
It
through
was
the
super
channel super
quick. Yeah.
fast. Yeah, digital, it's like change. Okay. 3 seconds. There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Change. 3 seconds. There it is. And it's, yeah.
Oh my God, it's so funny you mentioned that because I was just thinking that the other day. I was like, why is this so? Because I don't usually watch like regular t like cable, but I mean,
Hmm.
it's at the house. But like, I was flipping through trying to find something the other day, and I was like, why is this so slow? And I didn't even think, yeah, the analog was super fast. I remember like on my old TV that had the one of those dials. Dude, you could be like,
Yeah.
"Brah," and see like the images. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was crazy. It was super
Dude,
quick.
the good old days.
Yeah, yeah.
Technology has not made everything better.
No, I know we sound really old, you
I
know?
know. We're like back in my day.
There wasn't phones. People couldn't connect with you all the time and blah blah
Yeah.
blah. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough, man. I think like this is one of the biggest challenges to feeling tired is just the fact that the way the world is structured now is it's so fast paced and like it's hard to slow down like when you need to. It really is difficult. And like a lot of times like I think like for me at least, like one of the things I like doing is trying to remove myself from where I work and stuff to try and like separate it so that I have that space. You know, sometimes like for instance, like if it's nice out, I might go out and like I like photography as a hobby, so I'll go out and take pictures, but like I'll leave my phone in the car and my laptop's obviously at home. Like the stuff that would usually, be a way to get in touch with me, or I'll just, if I need my phone for it, I'll just silence it, so like it doesn't interrupt me. And that's a good way to like kind of really take a break from it, or like go take a walk or something where I'm just away from things. Because that's the other downside of working at home is like you work at home, so you're
Hmm.
always around it, You could always
Dude, and
do,
you're always inside of a box. Like that's
yeah,
I always find I get like super exhausted when I spend the whole day inside.
yeah, it is exhausting.
And
You know
somewhere
what's
I just
fun?
need to like get outside a lot of time.
I do notice that a lot too, because like when it's like really rainy out, right? Like, I walk my dogs every day, and usually, even if it's raining, I'll walk them, but like not if it's like pouring. And like the other day, it was like that, and I was exhausted all day. And it's like part of it's probably the cloudy weather, part of it is too probably that like I just didn't get outside at all, and it's like you feel cooped up.
Well, dude, they used to call it cabin fever, like when you would spend all day inside, but nowadays it's just normal.
Yeah, it's called normal. Everyone's like, I don't leave my house. Are you nuts?
Yeah, forget it.
Go.
I would have to
I'll
go
have everybody
outside.
deliver
It's
things
cold
to
out
me.
there. Oh my gosh, that is the worst because like never used to get delivery food before COVID, but then after that, all the time now.
Dude, everybody does. It's insane. I remember when like COVID started and like they were doing like it made sense to me like when they were doing like there was some like CVS and stuff were delivering like stuff from the store too, which made sense because like you couldn't get out. But then it just kept going and like, people apparently love it, I guess. But like, yeah, it's very
Because
strange.
they're like, check this out. I don't have to go to the store.
Dude, I know. Yeah, I feel so bad too because I crack up because like I'll go to Wawa or something like a convenience store, and they have so many bags for like the delivery drivers. It's like it's just oh my God,
Uh,
the logistics of that is probably a pain in the ass.
hmm.
Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
so what do you do when you're tired? Since we're off
Yeah.
topic completely.
Yeah. So
Like,
like I'll try and nap, but oftentimes that doesn't work for me because I I think because I drink a lot of coffee in the morning, but also I've never much been like an afternoon napper. I try a lot, but I never really succeed in actually getting any sleep.
I can
And
sleep almost any day at like 1 o'clock after lunch. Dude, I can go to
oh,
sleep at the drop of a hat. It's crazy. Like it's
that's
actually effort to
nice.
stay awake. Well, yeah. I mean, when I'm really tired, I will just take a nap because I feel like it does. You got to watch though, because like if it's too long, it screws you up. Like you feel more
Hmm.
like it has to be like I find for myself, and I know everybody's different. Like an hour or less seems to be
Yeah.
like the good point. Yeah.
The magic number. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do that, but more often than not, I try and do some type of like some either spending time outside in nature, like going for a walk, or sometimes physical exercise, because that invigorates me and that ensures that I'll get a better night's sleep.
That's a good one too, because that is the other hard things. Like a lot of us, I think, are, we get overworked and stuff, and we're tired, we're dragging, but like it's like mental, not necessarily physical. So you do try to
Hmm.
lay down, and then you can't sleep because you still have this energy that's still there, that you got to use. So I think, yeah, it's a really good one. Exercise is super important. They always say it, wear
Hmm.
yourself out so you can sleep, right?
Yeah, I do enjoy reading a lot too, and sometimes I do that. But yeah, I-
I like,
I've been like craving watching good old fashioned television. Yeah,
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 good luck with
whatever.
that. I mean, you can
Good
find it
luck with
online,
that.
I guess. It's not going to be the same experience. That's the problem.
I know I've
Yeah,
watched through almost all of Murder She Wrote.
that was a good show though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I like I know, I agree with you. I think like napping's good, like when you can, like reading's awesome. I do like, going out in nature is great. Like I do like I'll play with my dog sometimes, like if I just want to break from things, like that sometimes wakes me up, just like seeing them kind of run around, stuff they're so goofy. That can be
Yeah.
helpful. Um, Hanging out with people too, just going like and actually trying to spend time with people can be good. It's hard sometimes when you're tired, but can be very
Hmm.
helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, two other things. So we are kind of like too fast paced nowadays. So actually having a day off is helpful for slowing down because
Yeah.
sometimes we just can't rest because we're so amped up from life that it takes a long time to unwind. So actually
Yeah.
like starting to take a day off a week and then actively pursuing hobbies. I know this
Yes.
sounds crazy, like something where you don't make money from it. You
You
do
do
it
it just
just
because
for
you
the fun of
enjoy
doing
it.
it. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, actively pursuing hobby. And this is something where I need to like push myself to do it because I've been in this whole like production mode since I was a kid. It's like, get good grades so you can get into a good college, do
Yeah.
good in college so you can get a good job, do good at your job so you can make lots of money. But and it's just like this whole production thing. And I've I've had a really hard time. Well, in that process, I've put a lot of things that I enjoy doing off to the side because it doesn't make me money.
Yeah.
And so now I'm trying to focus more on those things that are fun just for the sake of doing them. Like I'm encouraging myself to play more video games and
Yeah.
and like do other type of hobby stuff that I do.
We know though it's hard. Like when you are focused on like production, getting things done, trying to get to that next like goal or whatever it is, you want it to come fast. And there's this idea of like being as quick as possible, and it's hard to slow down. And like you actually have to make a conscious effort. And like because you're already stuck in this like mentality of like do rather than like taking a break. It's like I think you're right. Like scheduling breaks is a great idea. Like when we read The Artist's Way, I thought that was awesome. Like the self date thing, like the artist date and like doing things that you enjoy, just doing hobbies, like taking like even an afternoon off or a day off, whatever it is, to like spend time with people you love, do things that like are for you, and not work and like force yourself to do it, schedule it so that you actually start to build that like practice and habit up. Because I think that's one of the biggest things we face is like we get used to it, and like so when things aren't crazy, you feel like things are off or wrong, or you're not doing the right thing, or you're not good enough, or whatever, and it just destroys, it makes it really hard to relax. And that's the problem. Maybe that's what we need is more
Hmm.
relaxation. Because
Hmm.
the other thing is too, like I remember like when we were what, it's probably when we were in high school, it was still the case that like everything closed on Sunday.
Hmm.
And like it was just getting to the point where things were starting to open, like certain things. Like gas stations might have been open because like, obviously emergency stuff and all, but like generally most stuff was closed. But then like something switched. I don't remember when
Dude, it was
exactly.
a dot-com bubble. I remember
Oh,
the
that's
dot-com
right.
bubble.
Yeah.
Walmart went to 24/7.
Because the stores were afraid that you're right. They were afraid of losing sales, the brick and mortar. So they just started
Hmm.
opening longer and longer until everything started to open 24/7. And it was like, and I think that was a big part of it too. It's like there's never a day where everybody just is like, can't do anything. And I think that we lost something there because it like there's also that pressure to constantly do stuff and like expectation that things will always be open and always be available.
Hmm. Yeah, I actually heard this study. It was talking about depression in Sweden. And so it found out that people who go on holiday the same time as most other people in Sweden are less likely to take antidepressant medication
Hmm.
because being able to being able to have like a shared experience with your peers is a lot more enjoyable than not. Whereas like you look at it nowadays, like everybody in America has 2 weeks off, but they're not all allowed to have it at the same time.
No.
And some people have to work weekends and some people have to work nights and some people so like you may be in a relationship where you don't get to see your spouse or your children or whatever because of when you have to work. Whereas if you and because of that, you're not able to do the things in life which give you satisfaction, like going and having experiences together. And so they found, and that can cause anxiety and depression because you feel very, very isolated. It's that feeling of being alone, even though you're surrounded by people, because you
Yeah.
just can't find anyone to do anything with when you have your
Dude,
time off.
that's such an important thing too. And I think we totally have screwed ourselves and lost that. Like this idea, like, like you said, I mean, everybody works different schedules. They might not even see people. And it's like we've made it so that we live to work rather than working to live. And I think that was like the biggest mistake we ever made. Because like, look, work's great. It feels good to be productive. It feels good to get things done, to achieve goals, to, whatever. Like it really does. But at the same time, there's also so much more things in life that matter. And we've made it all about one thing. And I think that was really a bad idea. Like we screwed ourselves. I think you're right though. Yeah. Like,
Hmm.
you look at all these companies where people, if they even have time off, it's not a lot. They can't take it all at once usually. And like you said, like,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times, like, it might not even align with when their spouse can take it or something, or their partner. If they have, if they are with somebody, we're like, it's like, what's the
Dude,
point?
I remember when I was working as a vet, they wouldn't let me take 2 weeks at a time. They would only let me take 1 week off at a time, which sucked because like you can't even really relax when you have a week off because that means you're traveling for a day, you're traveling back for a day. So you
Yeah.
get like 5 days, maybe. But then what was the other
Well, and then
thing
the other
about it?
problem is too, you're right though, because you also feel like you have to do something because it's like one of only your 2 weeks that you can take off. It's like you gotta go
Hmm.
do something, right? That you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. So then you're traveling
Well,
and stuff, which
plus
like,
you're too exhausted from work anyways because you're working 50
yeah,
other weeks that you're just like I don't even feel like traveling. I think I'm just going to stay home. But then the other thing was sometimes I would be like, "Can I get paid less and just get more time off?" And they're like, "Nope, can't do that because everybody else would start or want to do it too." And I'm like, "Well, what's the problem? You just hire other people with all the money you save." Like,
yeah, can't do that. Other people would want to make less money to have more time off. That's crazy. What are you talking
yeah,
about? Uh,
nuts.
yeah, it is tough. I think part of it is, but I think this is the problem though, is like we're all fighting like our conditioning, our social conditioning constantly in this area. And it's like, if you're not aware of that, it's very hard. And I mean, we both struggle with this. I know, like, just trying to like feel relaxed and even take a break and like recognizing that you need one too is really difficult. And it's like one of the best things you can do when you're tired is like realize why you're tired, you know?
Hmm.
And also, I
Yeah.
think, when you're tired too, asking yourself, like, really trying to get to the bottom of what it is that's causing it. Is it stress? Is it work? Like, are you unhappy? Because I think that's the other side of tiredness that, like, like we mentioned before, like with the Martha Beck book, that I really like that idea of like your physical, body's going to manifest feelings related to kind of like whether or not you want to do something for real. Like, if you really hate your job, you're going to feel exhausted going to work because your body's
Hmm.
like, don't go, and I think also recognizing that is really good because it can help you also figure out like maybe what would be better for you overall.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot to be gained from being tired. Now, I mean, tired is kind of like a signal in the body, kind of like there are other signals, like hunger is a
Yeah.
signal to eat, tired
Yeah.
is a signal to rest. So it's kind of saying like, hey, if you're tired regular basis, you probably need to rest more.
Yeah. You need to make
And then,
changes, right? Because like,
and here's another thing for you. So like we live in this society of anxiety and depression. So like people are all like, I'm depressed. And it's like I've heard it said that depressed is deep rest. And it's like if we're in a chronically tired civilization, we probably need deep rest. And maybe depression is the only way to get there for some people.
yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Because it's like we can't be on all the time. You need time off. And the other problem is too, like, especially like if you do like creative work at all, like, anybody does, like, you get burnt out quick. Like, you need breaks between projects to like kind of like regroup and like maybe shift and all. And like, we don't get that opportunity much anymore. And I think that's the other issue is like, you're asked to be on all the time. And then people look at you like there's something wrong with you when you're not, when you probably just need a break, And I think this is the other issue. So, yeah, really
Hmm.
being aware and taking rest when you need it is crucial, I think, to like being healthy and also, fending off these other things.
Dude, and healthy, yeah. Physical activity, physical exercise, and a proper diet. Like
Yeah,
America is the fattest country the world has ever seen. And
yeah,
it's clearly not good. And exercise is not the answer because we exercise more now than ever before. And it's something where we just eat too much. And yeah, but that can cause, I mean, aside from like illnesses of chronic illnesses, it can just cause you to be tired because you're
yeah.
lugging around an extra 100 pounds everywhere you go. I would be
Well,
tired.
and it also takes your body, it takes more energy to do things, just in general. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Plus all the extra energy just to digest that extra food that you don't need.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. I remember I have a good friend who like he lost a lot of weight and he didn't exercise. All he did was replace his lunch with salad and he reduced his plate size. Like he literally used a smaller plate to help
Yep.
it, and it like worked really well over the course of a year, lost over 100 pounds, and like it was healthy loss. It wasn't like, dramatic, like, where people do like those crash diets and stuff where it's like unhealthy to lose that weight so fast and all. And he kept it
Dude,
off.
exercise is the biggest red herring because that's the first thing that people do when they want to lose weight. But they found that in studies that two things happen when people exercise.
Makes you hungry.
One, well, yeah, but one, the people way overestimate how many calories they burn from the exercise,
Yeah.
way overestimate. And then number two, they eat even more calories than they burned. So it's like the
Yeah.
worst things you can do. Whereas if you just reduce your calories, like start it very slowly, figure out how many calories you should eat for maintenance for your body weight, and then just drop it by 100 calories and drop it by 100 calories the next week or the next month and do that eventually until you get to something down to where you're losing weight consistently,
Yeah.
not too dramatic, probably just like 200 to 500 calories less than what your maintenance is, and then just do that for 3 months and then maintain for 3 months and do that for 3 months, maintain for 3 months. But uh yeah,
That long haul is
America
good
has,
too because you build the habits, to keep
yeah,
that in place. I think
but
that's the
like
other
there are
thing.
huge healthcare issues in America like diabetes and heart disease and some
Yeah.
cancers that are completely preventable by not being obese, and yet America can't get its stuff together.
Well, a big part of that though too is I think also like that culture of rushing. You know, People like, you're sitting all day, you're, in an office all day, it's easy to snack. That's like one of the few breaks you get. So people
Mm-hmm.
do, like getting up and going to get to the break room, getting a coffee and a snack. It's like a way to take a quick break. And like that's good because you're so busy, but at the same time, like you're not doing anything else, and that's the problem too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's tough. We don't live in a society that's very helpful for like people's health. We don't care. It's like, and you see people burn out, and you see people exhausted. So you have to really speak for yourself, and that's the hard part too. You have to
Mm-hmm.
find
And
workarounds
then they have
sometimes.
reality TV shows like The Biggest Loser, where
Yeah,
literally everybody who's ever lost weight on that show has gained back even more.
because you
And it,
crash dieting never works. They've all said
yeah,
that, it doesn't.
yeah,
You got I
yeah.
mean it's like anything else, right? It's like, you got to learn habits to go with things. And like that's not because that's how you build it into your day and your system and stay that way. But this is all
Hmm.
stuff that's done in like, do it in 12
I think,
hours.
yeah, I think a lesson can be learned from dieting because, like, in order to diet properly, you have to plan for the maintenance phase afterwards. Because there's never going to be a moment after your diet where you can just go back to your old eating habits because your old eating habits are what got you in a place where you need a diet. So you need to figure out the maintenance phase. So maybe the same thing holds true for being tired because we're talking about being tired, about working too hard, doing stuff like that. So clearly we're not
Yeah.
overeating, we're overworking. So we would need to reduce our work and figuring out a plan. What's the maintenance for that? What would that look like? Would that be a day off? Would that be playing video games for an hour every day?
Yeah.
Or, you know, kind of doing that.
That's a good
I'm
way to think
glad we
about it.
had
Yeah.
this talk.
I am too. No, that's a good idea. Yeah, no, that makes sense because I think like there's always ways to fit things in too. And I think you're right. It might even be like, like if you are in the office all day, like coming home and like instead of sitting down watching TV, going for like a hour walk just to get outside and to get rid of some of that physical energy. Like I think that, yeah, that's a really good way to look at it. Sounds a good talk. I think this is helpful. I
Hmm.
gotta start implementing more
Yeah.
of this stuff. I
Yeah.
know.
Dude, I always used to when I used to work as a vet, I would always go on a walk for my lunch. I would pack a lunch, I would eat it in like 15 minutes in the car, and then the other 45 minutes I would just go for a walk.
And that's a good way to do it. You just get out too. It breaks up your
Yeah.
day. It gives you a different perspective and situation. It's just nice. It's nice to get outside.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
did that in all seasons. I wouldn't do it in the rain, but I would do it in all seasons. And
No,
yeah.
I walk every day. Yeah. I mean, I have my snow pants for when it's really cold because like there are times where it's freezing, and but yeah, other than that, like I do. So yeah, it's good for you. I think that's one
Mhm.
of the things that's helped me a lot, like mentally. It's just the fact that I now walk every day. It's like, the dog was a big help there too because it helped motivate me to do it every day, like
Mhm.
consistently. But like, yeah, it's a good idea.
Bingo.
Awesome. All right. Well, hopefully this, roundabout conversation
Yeah,
helped
what
you.
was the topic again?
I don't know. No, what to do when you feel what to do when you feel tired. I think something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Take a rest, do stuff like that. Anyway, yeah. So I hope you guys like this. If you enjoyed it, check us out on YouTube wherever you get podcasts. Like, share, subscribe. That helps us out a lot. Please leave a review too, Apple Podcasts. That's very helpful. We'll be back later this week with a quick fix. Until then, though, later.
Later, Danny.